This program is brought to you by Vincar, Peace of Mind.
Vincar, for your peace of mind.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Heart to Heart Talk. As usual, we are coming to you live from Live in the City. As always, I have some interesting guests with me, and tonight I have someone special, a lady with ordinary lady with extraordinary strength. I would like to introduce to you my guest, Adeline. Adeline, hi.
Hi, Alan.
Hi, how are you, Adeline?
Good to see you.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you feeling tonight?
Very nervous.
Very nervous. It's okay. This is a live show. Yeah.
But thanks for having me, really.
No, you're most welcome.
Yeah.
Adeline.
Yes.
I know you pretty well, but I think the audience would like to know what you do for a living.
Okay. I'm actually an interior designer.
Oh, yeah, interior designer.
Yeah. And my passion is actually in interior designing and architect, so I actually do architect's job as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you do both, interior and
Yeah, I do
architect.
both. Yeah.
But you started in KL, or are you from KL? in the
No,
first
no.
place?
I'm actually from Penang.
Oh, you're from Penang. You were born in Penang?
Yes, born in Penang.
Okay.
Yeah. Penang lah.
Then you moved to KL.
Yes, I moved to KL after my mom passed away. I decided to, come and try it out in KL.
How was life in Penang in those days?
Good. Those days, good. It's less traffic, very much less traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then did
now.
you finish your studies and everything?
Yes. I did my studies in Penang, my course in Penang. Yeah, everything was in Penang back then. Yeah.
Okay.
When I came to KL, it's actually basically to continue working.
Okay, so you came down to KL to work, but your education was all done in Penang.
Yes, but the first few years of my life my career life actually started in Penang as well.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did work in Penang also.
After
yeah.
I finished my course, then I immediately went into, setting up my own little business, and yeah,
Very
it was like
adventurous of you. Did you work for people before that?
not in this profession,
Yeah,
not in this line.
Were you in something else before that?
Yes, I pretty much tried. I wouldn't say almost everything, but a lot of things to. You see, because right after school, I was still quite undecided on what I want to do, because I know I wanted to do something that I truly love, not just for the sake of earning a salary.
That's good.
And so I tried a lot of things. I was working in a chartered accounting firm.
Oh.
I was in the secretarial division. Yeah, and that's definitely not for me.
Admin work?
Admin work, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I tried also banking. I was,
Were
the
you
cashier.
At the cashier.
Yeah, that's also not for me.
That's pretty stressful when you
Counting
handle
money.
so much money, is it?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just basically facing the notes all the time, yeah. So that's not for me.
That was all in Penang.
That's all in Penang, yes, yeah. And then finally I went into hotel industry. Yeah.
In the hotel industry.
I started off with the operators division.
Operator?
Yeah, operator. Because in
On
hotel
phone?
industry, you actually
Yeah.
have to start from operators division.
Okay.
Then after that to front desk.
Yeah, I'm very
Yeah.
proud of you, Adeline, because you really went through life, from right at the bottom, you climb all the way up.
Yes, that's because God is good. He made me
Yeah,
go
I'm
through
sure.
all that. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm sure you gain a lot of experience through that.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure, yes. And the most important thing is I also discovered what my true passion is. Yeah, by going through all that.
Were you good in art in your younger days, or?
I didn't do much of drawings and all that, like coloring and all that. That's not for me. Even until today, painting is not really for me. But it's more of like, you know, when I was in Standard 6, there was this project, and I remember very clearly. That project I enjoyed doing so much because I actually used. Everybody was like doing some drawings and all that, but I actually made a model of a house.
Model house with
from
what?
Toothpicks.
With toothpicks.
Yeah.
That was in Standard 6.
That was in Standard 6.
Oh, it started young, huh?
Yeah, and I remembered I had so much joy doing that, enjoyed the whole process of it, and then I put like the entrance, the door, the windows, the living room, the bedroom. I even made the bed and the kitchen cabinets all using toothpicks. So
how big was the structure?
it was just about like this size, but I was surprised myself, and I truly loved that work of mine.
I talked to architects recently, and then they do that most of the time these days. They fool around with cardboards and everything.
Yes,
and
that is actually very fun.
Yeah. So, what was your last job before you went into architecture? How did you start interior designing and all that?
In fact, at that point, I still do not know. You know, that interior design.
That was still in Penang?
Still in Penang. And I thought like I was happy when I was at the front desk in, I hopped from a few hotels, and I was kind of like enjoying it too because hospitality.
Yeah.
You know, I
Interesting.
enjoy
You meet a lot of
talking to
interesting
people, meeting people, you know. And I thought it's more of like my kind of thing. And until a friend suggested, why don't, because I always look at like magazines on homes and stuff like that. So a friend actually suggested, why don't you try to check it out, you know, these courses and all that. So I did that, and I took actually a rather short course.
Where
because I was not sure if that's my kind of thing, right? So it was just like a trial thing. And it's in a school called Equator in Penang.
Equator. So you did your study in Penang?
I did my studies in Penang, And right after that course, it was just a 1-year course.
So what do they teach you in the course there?
Very basic things.
Very basic.
Very basic. In fact,
perspective and all that.
Perspective and all that. It's very basic, and I remember because I took a night class. Remember, I was also working at the same time. So I had to do a night class, and there were only about 5 students in the night class.
5 of you.
And the funny thing is that out of the 5, you see, because a lot of them are just like me, were just like trying out things, you know, trying to find out if those are suitable for us. And I was the only one who actually completed it. The rest are like, they stayed for like a couple of months, and then after that, they just went off.
Is the school still around?
Actually, the school, the old building that we were initially in has been torn down for some development. They have moved to somewhere else. Equator is pretty much still around. It's like one of the, I would say, the only art school, I think, in Penang.
So the basics was quite important for you also. You did your basic there.
Yes, definitely. And we learned how to draw perspectives, angling and all that. So even until today, you will not believe it, I'm a very old school person. I still draw all these things, pencil sketches, before I hand over to my AutoCAD team. So that's where things got started.
After that, you study in Equator. So you got a job, or you started immediately to your own interior design?
I gave myself the first job. Right after school, I decided the first thing I did, constructed actually. I went and knocked on some carpenter's door. And actually, so they're strangers. I just asked them if you build something for me. And the first thing that I actually had them build was actually my drawing board. So it's like a slanted drawing board with a light box inside. So I gave them the dimension. I knew how I wanted it to be and all that. So that was the first thing they did for me. And then after that, I did some cupboards for my own room. And then after that, I've forgotten how somehow somebody got me to do their kitchen cabinets, their bedroom. It all started from there.
So you have your own personalized table all made for you to your measurement.
Yes.
You still have it today?
No, too bad. I actually brought it to KL, you know.
Really?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
brought it to KL because
Yeah.
it's quite sentimental value. Only thing that I didn't bring it to
Yeah, so-
the home now.
That was your first task that you did. But did you start your own company immediately after that?
Yes.
Yeah. What is
Right from the
what
time-
was the name of your company then?
Right from the time I had the carpenter to do my light box, then the
Oh, that
next
was
thing was
your-
actually to establish my own company.
Okay.
Yeah, and at that time it was actually called Cosmopolitan Design.
Cosmopolitan.
Yeah.
So you are the sole owner.
Yes.
No partners, no nothing. So how did you get your business? Do you knock on doors or you have some?
Actually, God really blessed me because somehow I had got a lot of jobs,
Yeah.
and I was so blessed in a way. Like, you know, when I first started at that time, that was like really a long time ago. Condominiums is actually pretty new thing,
Yeah.
especially in Penang, and along especially Gurney Drive and all that.
Yes.
So all the condos are just coming up, and I remembered like I would start doing one unit. And then ended up like with 6 units,
Okay.
7 units in the same condo itself. Yeah.
Word of mouth.
So
people,
word of mouth. Yeah. You have the curious house owners. They'll come and then have a peep, and then you know they
Yeah.
like what you do, and then from there I got all these jobs. Yeah. So I was like really focusing on condominiums.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing a lot of condos at that time.
So the company called Cosmopolitan Design.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it after that? What happened? Is it
After
still
that, you see, the thing is that I'll just tell you a bit about my background. I've always wanted to do architecture in Australia. So, although I've been running my business for 7 years at that time, and my mom passed away.
Okay.
Because before that, I had to
Look after your
look
mom.
after her and all that. She has been very sick. And when she passed away, a year after that, I decided to try it out. Yeah, in Melbourne.
Okay. So you actually went to Australia.
I actually went, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually went. I packed all my bags. I sold everything. Actually, I sold my business.
Wow.
Yeah, my small little business.
Okay.
I sold it and sold my car and everything. And I went over to Melbourne. But at that time, it was 97. That's when the ringgit crashed.
Okay.
Yeah, so with my savings, whatever my savings were at that time, with the ringgit crash, it was like so
Insufficient,
little,
yeah.
insufficient. I could only do like one semester.
So you did
And
one
so I
semester
didn't.
then,
I
yeah.
did not. So
you
I
did not complete
I
the
did not.
yeah.
I did not even start
Oh.
because I knew that I could not have would not have sufficient to do it. So I did not even start. So I just took a break because at that time I would have been running my business for about like 6 years. Yeah. So I took a long break.
In Australia.
Yeah, in Australia.
So it was an eye opener, I suppose, also. Yeah.
Yes, I took a long break and then I actually did some short courses and all that. Yeah, so enjoyed Melbourne City. So after that, when I come back, I decided to,
So you were there for about a year.
a year. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was there for a year. I truly enjoyed myself there. Yeah. So when I come back, I decided to try it out in KL. But that was the only first year in my whole journey, my career, that I was working for someone.
Oh, you
Yeah.
work with somebody.
Yeah.
So as a interior designer, or
It was an ID firm, but I was not doing the interior designing work.
Okay.
Too bad, and that's why I decided to leave after 1 year because
Okay.
my interest, my passion is actually in designing. Yes,
yeah.
I was actually in marketing.
You were in marketing.
Yeah, I was in marketing.
So you were out meeting people.
Yes, out meeting people and securing jobs for the firm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at that time we managed to secure quite a few big accounts, for the company. But after 1 year, I decided to
What was the
come
name
out
of the
on my own.
company that you were with?
PDI.
PDI.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, PDI.
So after that, you left the company.
I left the company immediately.
After,
Actually, when I leave the company, I already know what I wanted to do.
okay, you
Which
want
is
your
actually
own,
to to
interior
run my own
design firm.
yes, my own firm, because I always believe in doing something that I love,
Yeah.
rather than doing anything for the sake of money or anything. So if I stay on with that company, I will have to do the marketing, and I
Yeah.
will not get to do
That's not your passion.
designing. Yeah, that's not my passion. Yeah, so I left, and knowing that I would establish my own business. So that's when, my firm was
You
established.
started your own firm. Yeah.
Yes.
So what's the name of the firm that you
Used to be
started?
called Mareka, as in Malaysia Reka.
Oh,
But
Marika.
yes, interesting thing is that after so many years, last year, I have decided to change the name. Yeah, to
Okay.
All Things from Zion.
All things from Zion.
Yes,
So
glory to God.
okay. So it's all ATFZ.
ALL.
all
All things. That means like all
Yeah.
beautiful things from
From
Zion.
Zion.
Yes, it's
Okay.
a biblical name. Yeah.
So you're still there now, or
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
still there.
Yeah.
Still there. Yeah. So in short, it's called ATFZ.
ATFZ. Yeah.
ATFZ.
All things from Zion.
Yes, All Things from Zion.
I wanted to ask you also, how did the pandemic affected you? How was it like in your industry?
I think, to be honest,
Yeah.
the pandemic affected everyone.
Yes.
Right?
Oh.
So, but of course, it affected my industry and my firm as well. I will be lying if I tell you that it did not affect me at all. Yes, it did affect me because although my firm has been established for a long time, but the last 10 years we have been focusing on property investment. Yeah.
Okay.
So we also do property investment. We get clients to come in as investors, all right, and then they will tell them what products to invest in, okay, and then we will actually do the demolishing, design and rebuild again for them, and we
Oh.
also market it for them. So with my firm at that time, we were only like focusing more on investment and with this particular investor.
So you have the scout for potential houses that.
Yes, we do. Yeah. So, but we did not have like too many investors. Basically, we only focus on a few, a handful. And so, since the last few years, things actually slowed down. And when
Yeah.
it affected my investor, it actually affected
Because
us
you
as well.
can't do construction for a long time. Yeah.
Correct,
So
yeah.
everything has to stop.
Yes, and we could not like last minute suddenly, change into something else,
Yes.
Although my background is actually in interior designing and all that as well.
So is everything getting better now?
Yes,
Is it?
yes, yeah.
Mm.
God has been good, so things
Yeah.
are getting better. But I must say, the pandemic actually has opened my eyes a lot and made me think differently as well. So I do have in the pipeline. I do have some changes, to my company.
Okay.
And slightly different directions. Yeah, and I believe it's actually for the good. Yeah.
Okay. You gave me some pictures. Maybe we can. Alex, can we have that picture, please, Alex? Yeah. You want to talk through some of these things that you have done?
Yeah.
So that what is this one?
This is actually a bungalow.
Yeah.
We call it like a super home somewhere in Klang Valley.
Okay.
It's actually two-wing designed for a family of 2 generations. Yeah.
So you actually do architecture also.
Yes,
It's not
that,
just interior
that
design.
is actually my number one passion.
Oh, architecture. So what is this inspiration? Where does the inspiration come from?
Okay, my design has a lot of influence from Australia. Yeah, so I love the architecture of Australia because they use appreciate a lot of glass panels, where you
yeah.
can,
Natural-
let the sun
natural
in,
sunlight, yeah.
natural sunlight, and makes the house brighter and more contemporary as well.
Okay.
So that's why I also specialize in contemporary design. Yeah.
This was built where?
This is not built yet, but they are designed for I think about a few years ago.
Okay.
Yes, a few years ago.
This is a rendering.
This is a rendering. Yes,
Oh, looks
this
so
is a
real.
rendering.
You actually designed this?
Yes, I
Yeah.
designed this.
Did you start off with toothpick or?
No, usually start off with, of course, understanding the client's need, their lifestyle, their vision, and then I would actually do interviews with them and all that, So then, next thing I do is actually sketches. The space planning actually is the
Space
most
planning,
important part,
yeah.
Because before I go into things like interior designing and all that, I had to get the space right first.
Okay.
Yeah. And also space planning is actually one of my strengths.
Okay. Alex, can we have the next slide? Alex? Hi. Okay. Hang on, we're changing the slide. Okay. And this one. Sorry. This one, yes.
This one is actually a link house
Uh-huh.
in Hatamas area, KL.
Okay.
So, you know, the usual old double-story link house. So we actually proposed to
really
demolish.
tore the whole thing
yes,
down.
yeah, and rebuild.
I can see the
Because-
roof is different.
Correct, because we do not like to tear things down for no reason. But, you know, space planning, like I mentioned, is the most important part of every home. So with every family, they have different needs.
Yes.
They have different lifestyle, different requirements. So we actually change the space utilization according to their needs. So that also explains why you know, everything is turned around. You know.
And you have to be very careful when you tear down the structure, isn't it?
Yes,
the
we have
beam
to.
has to be.
Yes, and we also have to understand very well the requirements by the authorities.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything is actually done and designed based on all those criteria.
I can see that you like design with the simple roof rather than a normal house roof where it's
Yes,
with
yes.
tiles and everything.
Yes,
This is very
I-
Australian style, isn't it?
Yes, and also we get a lot of compliments from clients, like sometimes after living in a certain home for, like, you know, 15 years, 20 years, but then people will tell them that their house still looks brand new.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Because
sustainability.
it's timeless. Yeah, the design is timeless.
Yes, that is actually very important.
Yeah.
My style, I do not usually like to do something that is too eye-catching or too
Yeah.
futuristic
Trendy or whatever,
too trendy.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. We
You
do not
get
want
out
to
of
catch the
fashion,
attention.
yes.
Yes. So they are usually quite understated, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we have the next slide, Alex? And these are interiors.
Yes, this is interior work. Yeah, for a bungalow. Yep.
So what part do you play in this? Do you gather all the stuff for them, or you do sketches for them first, or you hunt first? How is the
How
way
we
you
go
work?
about is
Yeah.
it? Yeah, usually, like I mentioned earlier on, we interview our clients. We understand what are their requirements, their preference, their vision, and then from there we also spend some time understanding our clients. Like if they are going to use that house for their own use,
Okay.
so we will try to understand what their lifestyle is about. Spend some time, quality time with them. You know. Even including going shopping with them. So even like including preparing food in their kitchen with them,
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
just to understand them better. And from there, we actually come out with the layout plan, 3D renderings proposed for them. And most time, yes, the clients will actually let us build as well, because my firm actually specialize in design and build.
Design and build. Okay.
Yes, we are not so much of a consultancy firm, but more of a design and build.
Okay.
Reason why we encourage our clients to let us build as well is because we have our team. Yeah, we have our team, and it's easier for us to control them.
Yeah.
Yeah, to organize
All in
everything
one, yeah,
all in one. Yeah,
yes.
so
So
it
they
will
don't have to
leave.
deal with so many people.
Correct. It will actually save the client's time by having to deal with so many people.
Yeah. So you'll be the key person most of the time.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. In my firm, I believe in ID firms. Actually, I believe that you do not really have to have a big company. Yeah, because I believe clients come to you for your creativity.
Yes.
Yeah, for your efficiency. Yeah, and your performance,
Yes.
rather than to see like a big group of
Yes,
staff
yeah,
working in there.
yeah.
But actually, that is the hard truth for the Malaysian lifestyle. A lot of
Yes.
clients actually would like to see
It's
how
a
big your company
yeah.
are
How
and
big
all
is
that.
your company? But
Yeah.
actually, a lot
Actually,
of
it's not
ideas come from
relevant.
one person.
It's actually not relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if small firms doesn't mean that they are small in terms of ideas or small in terms of efficiency. No.
Yes.
Yeah. So in my firm at that time, I always believe that when I talk to my clients, understand what they want, and I will also be the one to design. I listen, Okay, I interview, I listen, and I'm also the one to design.
Okay.
And I'm also the one to project manage. Yeah. So because I'm the one who actually spend time understanding the clients, I'm also the one to actually pick things like their art piece,
Yeah.
the carpet, stuff like that. Rather than telling my staff
Yes.
to do it, and
I'm
then
sure
they
because
may
your
not.
client will be so happy to deal with one person. Yeah, instead of pushing them to one,
Yes,
another person,
correct,
another person.
correct. So that's quite the uniqueness of my firm,
Yeah.
because
I think that's the uniqueness of you, Adeline. You can do
Thank
almost
you.
everything.
Thank you. That's because I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
From the stage, from the beginning stage of talking to the clients, to understanding their need and their preference, and then until to the end stage of choosing the art piece for them. Something that is suitable for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we have some more slides, is it? Next
Yes,
slide,
we have
please.
some more
Yeah.
slides. So you have to enjoy every part
Yeah.
of it.
And what is this?
This is
LED screen at the back, or?
Yes, this is actually very interesting,
Yeah, what is
because
this?
I am actually now in the pipeline. I'm actually proposing for the investment of a co-living concept.
Co-living.
Yeah, co-living. So this particular rendering actually shows the living room of a co-living concept, which is actually housed in a 3-story link house with 8 suites.
Oh.
Yeah, so you're talking about like 4 suites on each floor, and the ground floor will actually house the living room,
So
the
they share
dining.
the living room?
Yeah, so you see there is sofa that's
Yeah.
actually for multiple users at the same time.
Okay.
And there's a table that actually also acts as a dining table.
Dining table,
Or if you
yes.
join it up, it can actually be a meeting
Meeting
table.
room, yeah,
Yes.
a meeting area.
Yes, so the screen is actually serving that purpose, like when they're having a
Ah.
meeting. They can actually have a meeting in that living room itself. So doesn't mean that everybody have to sit on that big meeting table, but they can make themselves comfortable on the sofas. Yeah.
It's a very interesting concept.
It is a new concept because now, especially with the COVID-19, a lot of us are actually forced to work from home,
Yes.
right? So this concept is actually most suitable. Like you actually work downstairs and you actually live upstairs. Yeah, and it's more economical as well. The whole
Yeah.
idea is actually to reduce their cost of living.
Okay.
Yeah, especially for the younger generation.
Can I have the next slide, please? Do we have the next slide? Yes, and this one. Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually an interior work for a high-end condominium in KL. So, so
This
this
is like near the outdoor, is it?
yes, they have
Yeah.
a large, sort of like a lanai thingy, like a big balcony that can open up. Yeah. So I proposed some green at the balcony area. Yeah. But the house concept is contemporary with a lot
Okay.
of white base.
Simple and nice, Adeline.
Thank you.
Okay, interesting. And we have talked for half an hour already.
Oh,
I think
okay.
you didn't notice that.
That's really fast.
So we're going to take a short break and we'll be back soon. Catch up with you
Okay.
guys later in a short
See you
while.
later.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Meet a company who gets what your event marketing needs. We are Anocent. Any event, any purpose, our team knows everything you need for a smashing success. We always have a plan made just for you. And when it's crunch time, we walk the talk and make it happen. And on event day, the results speak for themselves. All the event solutions you could need, all in one company. We should know, we've been at it for over 10 years. Starting with music and growing to master events of all kinds. Put the event of your dreams in our hands and watch the magic happen when we bring it to life, so that it looks and sounds like a dream come true. events, commercials. We do it all and make it brilliant. We are Annocent. We get events and we get you.
Region car for your peace of mind.
We're back.
Yes, we are back. And we are looking at some messages from you guys.
Too busy on the
Yeah.
phone.
Alex Lim say, yes, Penang Lang, same.
Yes.
Shirley
Oh,
Lim
yeah.
say, amen. God is always good. Totally
Amen.
agree with you, Adeline.
Amen.
Yeah.
God is really always good.
And then Joshua say, cool name, all things from Zion. And Joanne Ong, yeah, is that?
That's my sister-in-law.
Oh, she said, yeah, Penang Lang. So you got a
Penang
lot of
Lang.
strong
Hi,
supporters
Penang
from
Lang.
Penang. So, and I'm sure there are a lot of my friends watching also. Sarah, if you're watching, hi to you. You're always my strong follower.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yes. And Adeline,
Yes.
just now we were looking at some of your work, and has things changed? Is it the same way you're doing, like maybe 5 or 6 years ago? Has things changed, or in the industry the same?
Things have changed a bit, but although I'm still doing the same thing, yeah, but I am, how shall I say, diversifying by actually adding a few more things in.
Okay,
And having said that, my ATFZ, I'm creating a new web page.
Oh, new web page.
Altogether,
Okay,
and I'm
that's
very
good.
excited with that because ever since the pandemic hit, I have looked at things differently. I have actually walked closer to God as well. So God has actually opened up my eyes and changed me inside, and I look at things very differently now. So first thing I wanted to do is actually, I did change the name of the company
Yeah.
to give glory to God.
Okay.
And then web page is the next thing. So I'm actually very excited
Okay.
about the
so
web
what
page.
are the things that you're looking into now?
I'm also going to introduce like art
Art.
into the
okay.
whole thing because during my years of experience, we source a lot of arts for our clients as well.
Okay.
So yeah, I had fun doing that, and I also wanted to, how shall I say, educate Malaysians on their preference and
Yeah.
on their taste in art as well.
When you say
Yeah.
art, does it mean painting or sculpture or?
Generally, yes, painting and sculpture. In this case, I do always prefer abstracts. Yeah. So I like abstracts, so I'm actually also going to focus on abstracts and also
Okay.
sculpture as well. I may have the interest to actually do my own sculptures in
Okay,
future.
have you
yeah.
tried doing sculptures?
I've thought about
you
what
did
to
a
do.
toothpick house.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but I wanted to use some building construction materials. Yeah.
Maybe welding or something.
Welding may be a bit difficult. I may need all the equipments, you know.
Okay.
But maybe like things like using bricks and
Okay.
stuff like that. Yeah.
But sourcing for art in Malaysia, is it easy or is it tough, or do you have a lot of choice?
No.
No, you don't have.
I find it tough, and that's why I wanted to introduce that as
Yeah.
part of my
Maybe
service.
you can develop the industry also in a
Yes,
way. Yeah,
yes.
I mean, there are a lot of creative people in Malaysia.
There
I'm
are, of course, yeah. There
Good
are.
craftsmen also, yeah.
Yes. But what I noticed is that as I was sourcing over the few years, I noticed that people are quite safe here.
They're
Like a
safe,
lot of
yeah.
suppliers of the art, they are quite safe, so they usually go with the standard thing that the
Yes.
general crowd would like to buy. But with what I wanted to do, again, it's on a small scale, because I always believe that on small scale we can actually expand from there,
Yeah.
and also we can be more daring. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring in arts that is actually more interesting. You're talking about arts drawn on construction materials, you know, and maybe things like graffiti and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
So which is cool and more fun. It's definitely less serious. Like definitely not like
Yeah.
sceneries or flowers. That's
Yeah,
not my kind of
that's
thing.
too expected, yeah.
Yes, that's
I'm sure
what you
want
can
to walk
already
into
find.
the room and feel the wow or
Yes,
something
yes,
different,
yes.
yeah.
So my first piece that I am going to actually sell is actually more of like a graffiti work done on construction material.
Okay.
Yeah, like on the hoarding material. Yeah. So
Is
it's
it a big one?
no,
Or-
it's a small. Yeah,
okay.
small piece. Yeah.
You're
So
doing it
slowly-
yourself?
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
No, you got someone
I don't have the passion to do it myself. But I always believe like a good piece of art actually complements the design of a room. It completes it actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, it completes it.
Especially sculptures, they are really good talking points. Yeah, when you walk into a room, you see something, there's something to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also with the kind of art piece that I'm going to be bringing in, it is a combination of low to medium and even how should I say, more expensive art. So it's also the low range as well as the more expensive one,
So
depending
you're
on the budget.
bringing in from overseas? Or?
Yes,
Oh.
all around the world.
All around the world?
Yes, all around the world.
Do you do some traveling or you just...
I would love to do the traveling to
but
go
you
and buy
can't now,
art,
is it?
but nowadays it's so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can connect through, you know, the phone and all that, get things
But
sent here.
But our currency is not very good now.
It is
huh?
not, yeah. So when I mentioned the more expensive ones, they are from the
Yeah.
US and all that.
And
Yeah.
also just now I was asking about the industry changes and all that. I think even construction is getting to be expensive because of material costs and all that.
It is. Everything is getting expensive, even
Yeah.
the food as well. And that's why I really stick to the idea of maintaining small business in that sense, especially for artistic people like us.
Yeah.
You see, because our kind of firms, we are not like the corporate world out there. We are not like an accounting firm. Yeah, we are not the bank. So we don't need
The numbers.
a
they
big
don't
name,
allow-
we
yeah,
don't need a big office, you know,
Yeah.
a big
It's
establishment.
very personalized.
It's very
so
personalized. So,
yeah.
if you maintain like small, you actually reduce your overhead, right? So the expenses will be low, and that will make it easier for you. Because I know I heard during the pandemic there are customers who actually take advantage, you know, of people like us to try to get us to design for free and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's very
So
bad,
if
yeah.
you and of course for some, in order to keep their expenses, their bills running, you know, they have to they have to do it, you know, and that's really bad. So
I think there's one problem with Malaysia also that people don't really pay very much for professionalism.
Yes.
They expect professionalism or design to be like free. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So if you were to ask me, if you were to ask me how have the design industry progressed or changed over the years, I would say there are changes, you know, but there are still rooms to grow, because if you're talking about 20 years ago, very few people will engage a designer
Yes.
to do up their house.
Yeah, they do it
For
themselves,
Asians,
yeah.
Especially Malaysians, like if they have some money, the first thing they would buy is
A car.
a car.
Yeah, they won't
That
do up
is-
the house. Yeah.
yeah, that's the first thing. And then they will buy a house, but then they will fill it up themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the idea of engaging a professional designer is like pretty much
Yeah,
the last thing to
nothing,
consider.
Nothing like coming back into something that you really love and you enjoy. Yeah.
Yes.
You come home to something nice.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's why I
But a
specialize.
lot of people just take for granted their house is just you know, they just walk in and they don't mind how it looks like.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's why I mentioned there are some progress nowadays.
Yeah.
There are more people. I mean, even if like in commercial, if you go into the shopping malls, you start to see like a lot of the F&Bs, they are really focusing on their
Yeah,
design
design,
nowadays. So
yes.
that's really good news. You know, it's
Yeah.
good to see that, you know. So so even with houses, there are more and more people who appreciate, like you say, coming back to a tastefully done up house
Yes.
and all that, you know. I think it's money well spent because home is actually where you start.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Yes.
first thing you wake up,
Yes.
right? And also the last thing that you do after a stressful day, after a hard day's work, you go back
Yes.
to your home. You want to really relax and
Yeah.
distress, you know. So I think it's money worth spending,
Yeah.
you know.
That's why I heard that in Hong Kong, because the homes are not so unwelcoming, that most of them stay out late
Exactly.
until
It's true.
it's late at night. Then they
Yep.
go back home and then they sleep
Yep.
because the places are so small.
Correct.
So in Malaysia, we are so lucky.
We are
yeah,
very
we have
lucky.
the advantage of space.
Yes.
Yeah, and
And that's why a lot of people, they think that they must have big space.
yeah.
Actually, it's not necessary.
Yeah, because
Yeah, it's not necessary.
I've
If
seen
you-
some condos that are very small but very nicely done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, utilized space is more important than
Yes.
any space or dead space. You know, we call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how would you advise someone who is young, just fresh from school, if they are interested in this industry, what should they be looking at?
First of all, to identify what they love.
Yeah, you must be doing what you love.
Yes, you
yeah.
must be doing what you love.
Yeah.
And it's not as easy as just stepping out from the uni and then knowing, immediately what you love. You need to, I think like what I did, I find that it's actually helpful to try out a few different industries, in order to find out what you like to do. And once if you discover that ID is your thing, yeah, why not? But it's a very interesting career.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting career because you don't deal with the same thing for every project. Every project is different. You see, even if because there are many types of designers. In my case, I actually specialize in residential. Yeah, so even if you do for the corporate or F&B, every project is different.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's the interesting part of it.
Yeah.
And you're dealing with beautiful things.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Every day you're doing something different.
Yes, yeah.
Interesting. If someone wants to study architecture or interior design, is there some way that they can do it nowadays?
Yeah.
But you didn't really go through a...
I did not, yes. I went against the norm.
Yeah.
Of course, having a degree, that would actually, I believe that will help a lot. Yeah, having said that will help a lot. But it's just that my circumstance didn't
Yeah.
allow me. I mean, I wanted to pursue my degree as well,
Yeah,
but I came from a family where I have to make things happen on my own. Yeah. So,
But you did pretty good.
thank you.
Yeah. So how many people do you have in your office nowadays? Do you hire a lot of people or just
Ever since the
just 3 or
COVID,
4 of us? Yeah.
yes, ever since the COVID,
Yeah.
we have cut down on expenses as well.
Yeah.
So we have most of our staff to work from home as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have got used to that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you work more with pencils or computers these days?
I'm definitely a pencil person.
Oh, you're a pencil person. You like to sketch.
Yeah, I love to sketch. I'm from that generation where,
Yeah.
we are not so good with computers.
You are young.
Thank you.
The pencil is very powerful. You can do a lot of things with pencils.
Yes, yeah. But the good thing now with the phone and all these things,
Yeah, you can do a lot of
we are also
research,
able
yeah.
to draw,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so easy to do research these days. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I heard that somewhere someone got the idea of an airport from an upside down orange. He just saw an orange at his breakfast table, and then he got the idea of then from there he got the design of a airport.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
It's,
sometimes
well,
you got to
Inspirations come in any form
yeah.
and any time, any moment.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, even while you're having your breakfast.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
overturn orange or whatever. Then
Yep.
you
Yep. Like when ideas come, it just come sometimes.
I
Yeah.
always think that the Twin Tower is like too jargon.
Jargon, right? Yeah, that's what a lot of people say.
Yeah, but it looks so nice. I mean,
It's so
it's
beautiful,
an icon.
isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm so
yeah.
proud. I'm so proud of our Twin Towers. Yeah.
It's really an icon.
Actually, I'm so proud of all our buildings
Yeah.
in Malaysia.
Yeah,
yes.
it's very nice.
Yeah, I mean-
our skyline is very beautiful.
Yes, very beautiful. Even the new buildings that is halfway constructed,
Yeah.
they're can't wait to have.
In your industry, I also noticed that a lot of interior designers, they also build these days.
Yes.
They don't just do design, they do the...
There are some consultancy firms, who specializes in consultancy. Yeah, but I would say most of them are actually design and build.
Yeah. I
Design and
suppose better margin if you do a building also.
In a way,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Well, you
more
have
work.
the more work, more
Yeah,
headache, but
yeah.
slightly better margin.
It's not easy dealing with construction workers, isn't it?
It is not easy, yes,
Yeah.
it is not. And especially like the past 10 years, we have been focusing on construction as well.
Yeah.
Not just design and build, but also on construction. So, yeah, it's good because we actually gain extra experience on that, you know. So my firm is actually, in a way, it's very unique because I started off with interior designing, and then also I do architecture, and because we also do property investment, we do a lot of research on properties, how to increase the value of your properties, you know, and things like that.
You introduced the word staging to me. Staging.
Home staging.
Home staging.
Yes, home staging is
like what
basically to dress up your home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically to dress up your home.
And make the value go up in a way.
Yes, actually values can be increased for every property. If it's a condo, then home staging, yes, because home staging only allows like the interior part of it. But if it's a landed property,
the architecture.
you
and
can
everything,
you can actually tear it down or rebuild, or even do a facade changes, do some changes with the layout, you know. Improve on the layout, so that will actually increase the value of the property.
So what type of job interests you the most? Are you choosy about jobs, or
That depends on which phase I'm at. Actually, at this phase now, at this moment, I may be doing a work for a church. Interior design for a church, and I'm really, really looking forward to that.
Okay.
Yeah. So at this stage, but otherwise,
what's the capacity?
we still need to be briefed on all that.
Okay, yeah.
So, but
That would
looking
be your
forward to it.
passion, yeah.
Yes, looking forward to it. But otherwise, building something from scratch, like a bungalow.
You
Yeah.
love that? No?
Yes. I love to do that.
But you
Yes.
started with interior at first. is
Yes.
it? Yeah.
I wanted to do architecture
Okay.
at first. Then I had to do interior design. So in a way, like I say, God is good because then now I'm able to actually do both. Yeah, although I'm not a signing architect, so whatever I design, I will have my associates to endorse on the drawing.
Okay.
Yeah, then we'll get it submitted to authorities and all that. Yeah, so I love doing that. Yeah, still building, and even during construction, I would visit the site and climb up to the roof, you know,
Okay.
things like that. Because to go up to the roof, to have a feel of it, you will see different things, you know. Instead of from the paper, you may not see a lot of things. So, yeah, I enjoy doing all that man's work in a sense.
That's good. So what are your plans in the future?
My plans in the future.
Yeah.
I think after the pandemic, I realized that all of us, we need to balance ourselves. Yeah, like for many years, I was like so focused with my work, you know, and it's always about
spiritual
work,
life,
and all
yeah.
that. No, absolutely no spiritual life. So during this pandemic, God has actually drawn me, you know, closer to Him, and I truly appreciate that. So He made me look at things from, you know, a different angle, and now I appreciate my health more. I
Yeah.
appreciate my personal time more. Yes, but that would mean that probably earning less.
Yes.
But I think, like I mentioned, to balance our life. So we
Yeah.
need to make sure that we have food on the table,
Yes.
right? At the same time that we have to remember God for what He does, and also maybe to help other people.
Yes.
See how we can contribute, you know, to
Yes.
to help other people, things like that. To be less selfish.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's very
So,
interesting.
But in terms of my business, it's interesting in that sense. I don't have plans to expand it into a bigger firm in that sense, but yeah, I would like to be able to offer my clients more services, like you know,
mentioned the art and everything. Yeah.
yes.
What else do you have in mind? You
I-
dress very well. What about fashion?
Yes, maybe introduce some fashion into their homes as well.
The wardrobe inside and out.
Actually, it's all about style, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about style. So, style in fashion, you can have style in your home as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why my other interest is actually also in fashion.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes I get.
It's quite related in a way.
It's quite related.
Yeah.
So instead of like what you were mentioning just now, someone who had his breakfast and got inspired by the Overton orange.
Yes.
So sometimes I can get inspired with an earring, for a
Yeah.
building.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or even a bag,
Yeah.
colors that come from a bag or shoes or accessories and stuff
Yes.
like that.
Inspiration can come
Sometimes
from
like when I
anywhere.
wear this purple earring, then I may figure out, hey, okay, maybe how about a purple throw cushion,
Yeah,
on the sofa
yeah.
instead of the beige and gray stuff like that. So yeah, related in that sense.
Yeah, ideas can come from anywhere.
Yes.
But I think your direction in life is very good because you're looking at balance in life. Yeah, spiritual
yes.
also.
Yes.
And then health, of course. Yes.
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 And I think also sometimes like in our industry, I feel that there could be some changes where, professionals, people like us, architects, designers can actually collaborate with each other.
Yes.
Because it's the
Instead
norm
of
here.
competing, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the norm here. Like people would have to expand their business by engaging more staff, But if you collaborate with one another,
Yeah,
number one,
you can outsource in a way, is it?
outsource. Yeah. Number one, you keep your overhead low. Right. Number two, I feel which is very important is that depending because every project is different. Today I may have to work on an F&B outlet, right? Maybe tomorrow I need to work on somebody's bungalow.
Yes.
So if today I need to work on an F&B, I may get the help of this architect or designer who specializes in F&B to do the work.
Yeah.
And I believe it will be more effective.
Yeah, instead of hiring and getting your own stuff.
Instead of
and
hiring
overheads
like
and-
10 of your maybe school leavers, young,
Yeah.
less experienced team,
Yeah.
So this way you can help one another. At the same time, you can reduce your costs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
your overhead.
collaboration is important.
Collaboration. I feel
Yeah.
that, the professionals here should, especially artistic people, we should collaborate more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of creativity in Malaysia, which is is not discovered yet. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, in Indonesia, you can see a lot of wood carving. In
Yes.
Thailand.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure we can do it here also.
We can, but
Yeah.
that's why the mentality of the people here have to change.
Yes.
Again,
yeah.
back to the consumers. Because when they tend to look for someone, they tend to go for, they must ask for a big firm.
Yes.
To them,
yeah.
it's always the mentality is always the big firm,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give them a chance,
Yeah.
Yeah, give the
Good.
small firms a chance as well because, like I say, small firms does not mean they are small in ideas
Yeah.
or, small in efficiency,
Yeah.
But sometimes because
service is so important. Yeah.
Yeah, because
service
if-
and understanding the
correct,
client. Yeah.
correct, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe even in a big agency, you may not even see the bosses. Yeah, you work with the lower rank people all
Yes.
the time, and the boss come in once in a while and
Exactly.
just say hi and then
Exactly.
leave. Yeah.
Yep.
So you are really hands-on, I suppose, in your company.
Very hands-on. Yeah, that's how we are different
I
because
suppose that's where your strength is,
Yeah.
being hands-on, small and powerful.
and that's not all for me. That works well with me because why? In that sense, I can also select my projects.
Yeah.
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 I'm someone who believes in doing things out of passion, so not of being forced to do it, So when I'm able to select my projects, that's very important because I want to make sure that at the end of the day, the clients are happy and I'm happy doing it as well.
Yeah.
Rather than having to, because of expenses,
Yes.
I have to take in this job, and it may not be the kind of thing that I want to do,
Yeah.
So
The
I'm
passion-
able to
the
be
passion is not
selective.
there, yeah.
Yes, so I'm able to be selective as well.
Good.
And I think that's very important for,
Yeah.
people like us.
So we have chat for 1 hour, Adeline, you
Yeah.
notice?
Oh, okay, I did not notice.
Any parting words to our viewers? Stay
No.
passionate always.
Stay passionate, but most importantly, now stay safe.
Stay safe, yes.
And
Yeah.
like, if you, for someone who may be going through tough times, remember that there's always God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great parting words. Yes, God is always there for you.
Yes.
Yes. And with that, we have to say bye-bye and look forward to meeting you again
Yeah.
on our next show. Bye-bye,
Yes,
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Region Car for your peace of mind.
This program is brought to you by Vincar, Peace of Mind.